summer evening that the whole story of your painting began. I remember it like it was yesterday. A group of scientists were staying at the refuge to prepare for an expedition to some faraway place in the east. They were being trained by a local alpinist who was to guide them. His name was Leon Kabatis. Oh, handsome as a Greek god he was, and an Olympic champion no less, very popular with the ladies. And he was lovely to me, would give me a wink and a smile whenever I served him his beer. "Thank you, Demoiselle Lenny," he would say, in French, if you please. Made me feel like a proper little madam. But then Frau Junter would always shoo me away.
Frau Junter?
Must have been in her mid-20s. But of course, to me, she was an old hag. Past it. And I didn't like the way she bossed my Leon around with that camera of hers. The refuge was buzzing. Everyone was jolly. And the scientists were there, debating as usual about this and that. A cheerful bunch, really, despite their disputes. Except, that is, for one. Frank Hoss was his name. Preferred his own company. Though I could see, even with my young eyes, he was devious as the devil.
But what about the girl in the picture?
Well, she was there that evening too. She had come to work through the summer. Her name was Dana. Dana Rose. Ah, she was as cute as a button and well-mannered with it. Even father was sweet as a lamb to her.
Take care of the scientist drinks, then go around taking orders. And have a look at the stove while you're at it.
Yes, Herr Gustav.
Will you be alright now, Dana? It's the first busy night since you started, so just ask if there's anything you need to know. Alright, my lovely?
Thank you, Herr Gustav, but it looks pretty straightforward. I'll be fine.
That's the girl. Off you trot then, my lovely. Keep smiling, and you'll have them carrying your tray for you.
I need to serve those drinks to the scientists. What a strange mechanism. It reminds me of the automatons on the musical square.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. Looking forward to hearing it. Yes, she's a specialist.
Birne, huh? The keg's empty. I need to change it. That should be it. Let's serve these gentlemen now.
Come on, Leon. Show me your energy, your youth. Oh dear, you look more like my old Aunt Helga.
No, we'll have to go higher, I'm telling you.
But my point is that it's highly improbable that any primate will be able to survive so high up, let alone thrive.
And if they were thriving, we wouldn't be looking for them, would we? I say they've taken to the higher ground, and they only come down to steal livestock and game. Look out, chaps.
Gentlemen, your drinks?
Ah, good on you, lassie. Horst, make yourself useful and pass these around. First day, is it? Better make a wish then.
All right, I will. I wish you would tell me what all those maps are for.
Ah, that I can grant you. They show all the different locations of an expedition we're planning.
And what's that one of, if you don't mind me asking?
That is Baltayar, a remote region in the mountains of northern China. That's where I'll be leading my team in a couple of weeks.
And what's this expedition for?
Well, keep it to yourself, but the code name is Origin. And if I have my way, it will likely change the way we perceive humanity.
I see you haven't come just for the view then.
Oh no, Fraulein. We're only here for the beer and a pretty smile. That's our trainer out there. Supposed to knock this scraggly lot into shape for the big climb in Baltayar.
Right. And what about you, gentlemen?
Well, let me introduce you to my dream team. Horst Sauer, talented anthropologist and frequent but worthy pain in the ass to your mother. Rudolf Jäger, distinguished ethnologist. And last but not least, Albert Bauer,
paleontologist.
And yourself?
Reinhard Berger, biologist.
As Herr Berger says, we're here to train for the Origin expedition.
In return for funding for our own projects back home.
And for the love of science, eh, Horst?
Oh yes, of course, Herr Berger. I'm sure none of us would be here otherwise, would we?
And what about you, my lovely?
Oh, I'm Dana. I'm working here during the holidays, that's all. I'm curious to know what this Origin expedition is all about, though. If it's not top secret, that is.
Put it this way, Fraulein Dana. When we discover what we're looking for, you will no doubt remember this conversation as your claim to fame. You will tell your grandchildren that you served the Origin team, the team that discovered none other than the missing link of the superior race of humans, the Australopithecus habilis, the direct ancestor of Homo sapiens. Or, more vulgarly put, the abominable snowman.
Oh, I see. Now I get why it's called Origin.
Whatever we find, whatever we call it, it's likely to send shockwaves all through the world of anthropology. It will help us to explain how we evolved from Australopithecus to modern man, and then became...
He's off again. Get him started on anthropology and he's like a bolted horse. I don't think Fraulein Dana wants you to clobber her with your explanations, Horst.
I'm sure it's all very interesting, but I must admit I'm more into the arts myself. Music
Come, gentlemen, here's to the Brown Shadow for generously sponsoring this expedition, which is sure to redefine our understanding of mankind.
Oh, I see we're fraternizing with the personnel, gentlemen.
Just giving a toast to our generous sponsor, Herr Hers.
May I remind you that this mission, financed by my party, is confidential? Do you know what that means, Dr. Berger?
Yes, Herr Hers.
It means, gentlemen, it is strictly forbidden to communicate any details or objectives to anyone outside our circle, let alone to the first waitress to come by twinkling her eyelashes. Fraulein, as soon as you're done here, I suggest you get back to your chores.
What a brute.
That is one of the inconveniences of working with a heavily politicized private sponsor. But he's just doing his job. And I suppose, like anything else in life, there has to be some compromise to get what one desires. So, think nothing of it, Fraulein. It is the way of science. Indeed, it is the way of the world.
The way of the world, Herr Berger? I'm sorry, but in case you do not know, let me tell you what members of the Brown Shadow do to Vagarans like me. They smash windows. They assault innocent people for no reason at all. They are fascists and criminals, Herr Berger. With all due respect, don't you feel ashamed to be associated with such tyrants?
I would be careful when expressing such extreme accusations, Fraulein. There are always overzealous members of any party, always have been. And even so, we are not politicians. We do not claim to save humanity. Our job is to explain how it came about. Why, if the scientific community had to halt progress at every political crossroads, then humanity would never have advanced any further than Homo erectus.
Dana! Dana! Chop chop! This isn't a French parlor, my girl.
Yes, Herr Gustav. I'd better go. Thank you, gentlemen. This mechanism controls the air intake, if I remember correctly. Herr Gustav didn't have time to fix it. Looks all good to me. I need to open the stove first. It's not enough. I need to feed the fire more. Looks all good to me. Wow, I've never seen a stove like this. It must be one of Herr Gustav's inventions that everyone talks about down in Wagen.
A bit more to the side, darling, please.
I think Herr Gustav would not like it if I left the refuge during the service, so I had better stick around. That should be it for the fire. But I think there's something wrong with the airflow. Herr Gustav didn't have time to fix it. Looks all good to me. Wow, I've never seen a stove like this. Must be one of Herr Gustav's inventions that everyone talks about down in Wagen.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. Looking forward to hearing it. Yes.
Looks like there's something wrong with the airflow. That should be it for the fire. But I think there's something wrong with the airflow. Impossible. No. That one is loose.
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
That should fit pretty much anywhere on the stove. That's it. I'm done here.
That's it. Hold it.
Lenny,
Crikey, you nearly had me jump out of my skin.
what have you got there?
Oh, it's a camera lens, that's all.
A camera lens. Doesn't belong to you though, does it, Lenny? Lenny?
Didn't say it did. It's Frau Junter's, if you want to know.
Who is this Frau Junta anyway?
Ginger Junter, over there.
She married?
Oh no, too old to marry now. She's way past 20, you know. That's why she likes filming Leon, because he's young and handsome.
Lenny?
And she never lets me have a go of her gear anyway. I only wanted to help her film something. I bet she's jealous.
Whether she's jealous or not, you still shouldn't go playing with things that don't belong to you, Lenny, especially if you've been told not to.
You're not my mother, so there. And if you tell on me, I'll tell my father to get rid of you.
Oh, is that so, little Colonel?
It sure is, soldier.
God, can this place get any worse?
No, we can do better.
Better not interrupt them. That Frau Junta wasn't exactly friendly earlier with Lenny. I've done all that Herr Gustav told me to do. I'd better go and tell him.
All right.
Fine. No more orders and everyone's served.
That's the go. Now listen, Dana. I know, you know, the brown shadow is dangerous, right? So for heaven's sake, keep your feelings to yourself. And refrain from answering Herr Berger back like you did, eh? The brown shadow is not something you can just chit-chat about.
But
Look, it's not safe. And it will only come back and bite you. Mark my words, Dana. Especially in today's climate.
I only...
Dana, I know. Just be careful. No one wants problems with fascists. You get my drift? And maybe next time I give you advice, like I did earlier, just take it. Just listen to old Gustav. Got it? If in doubt, before you go jumping in with your 2 feet, come and see old Gustav. Got it? So, young lady, you're still off to the academy in the fall, are you not? What you waiting for, then? Get back to your practicing and play us a nice tune while you're at it.
All right then, I will. Thank you, Herr Gustav.
Play something melodious this time. It'll make a nice change from the military pieces some of the patrons have been requesting of late.
Yes,
Well, Herr Gustav did a pretty good job repairing that key I broke yesterday.
looking forward to hearing it.
Oh, gosh, I hope I haven't...
Bravo! Bravo! Bravo!
Bravo. Bravo.
Clap? How can you clap? Oh, so you like noise, do you? Do you? Well, you should be ashamed! Ashamed, I say! To applaud the music of a treacherous Polish separatist! Rebel-rousing! It's this kind of rebel-rousing that puts the poison of Marxist Bulgarian ideology in the minds of honest people! And those who partake in its vulgarization are accessories to treason!
You are drunk, Herr Hoss.
Out of my way, boy.
Come, Fraulein. Best clear off until the dust settles.
You should have seen me then, Fräulein Walker. I was so young and eager to witness whatever could happen between Dana and Leon. I needed to know, to be included, one way or another.
Lenny, don't! Give them some space, would you?
Shouldn't you be in bed?
Don't you have some dolls to dress or something?
A blasted fight. That's all I need.
You all right? Yeah, I thought so.
It's just that if I had retaliated, I would have lost my job, you know? Believe me, I came this close to not being able to pay for my studies at the academy after the holidays.
Forget it. He was blind drunk. Won't even remember it come tomorrow. All Gustav could see it wasn't your fault. Besides, you didn't see him after your performance. Ecstatic he was.
There are more and more people like that brute. They don't even bother to hide their hatred anymore. It's like they've been given a mission, or perhaps I should say permission, to abuse people like me, as if Vagarans had suddenly become the scourge of society. And we're powerless to act because if we did, we'd lose our home. My parents, they've become a bundle of nerves. They can't sleep at night. Only last week, our shop window got smashed again, and our neighbors, they couldn't care less, and neither could the authorities. What's wrong? Did my rant frighten you?
Well, yes. Yes, it did. I mean, not you, Fraulein. But what you said about the fascists. You've put my own suspicions into words, Fraulein. Because what you say about the Brown Shadow is true, and that's what worries me. I used to think they were just a bunch of cranks in their ridiculous uniforms. But now I can see these lunatics really are serious. Deadly serious.
But you did know who was behind the Origin expedition.
Never gave it much thought, to be honest. Only met Huss and the scientists today. For me, they were no different from any other group I've trained. If I'd have known that, I'd have had second thoughts. Actually, do you know what?
What?
I'm going to stop training them.
Can you do that?
It's still a free country, right? So after a few weeks' notice, I'll be off the hook. At least, I get to spend the summer here with you. Painting.
But I don't paint.
No, you play. I paint. It's my passion. And you can be my muse.
Is that what you say to all the girls?
No. Never.
Hello, you two lovebirds. Everyone's going to bed, so you better come back inside or you'll catch cold, or worse.
And that's how Dana pipped everyone at the post. It only took one look for Leon to fall head over heels in love with her. And it didn't take much for Dana to fall for him. Love at first sight, you might say. The whole band stayed at the chalet all summer long. Then, I suppose, everyone went their own sweet way.
Did you ever see any of them again?
Oh, no.
What about Dana and Leon?
They too went their own ways, I guess. And that, Fräulein Walker, is all there is to it.
Do you know if she's still alive?
Can't be sure, but I doubt it. It was a lifetime ago, Fräulein Walker.
Where do you think she might be if she were?
No idea. Things went from bad to worse after that summer. Not to mention half the town was razed during the war.
Did Dana leave anything here? Any documents or anything that might help me find where she went?
Not that I know of. But I suppose there might be in Father's old coffer. Must still be in the loft. Junta bought it from him that summer, so she could use it to store her precious filming gear. She was supposed to come back for it, but she never did. If there is anything that can help you, it will be in there. So feel free to look around the refuge by yourself if you like, even though I don't think anyone managed to open the coffer since Junta left.
Thank you, Demoiselle Lenny. Thank you so much.